welcome to another episode of In-Depth Analysis. I'm Nashon Adhacho, here to take you through one of history's most captivating stories, the journey of the Titanic. From its construction to its tragic end, this tale is both inspiring and heartbreaking. Let's dive in. Before we delve into the Titanic's story, let's touch on an eerie prediction made years earlier. In 1898, author Morgan Robertson published a novella titled The Wreck of the Titan. The fictional story described an unsinkable ocean liner named Titan, which struck an iceberg during its maiden voyage and sank in the North Atlantic, leading to massive loss of life due to insufficient lifeboats. The parallels to the Titanic tragedy, which occurred 14 years later, are astonishing. Was it a coincidence or a forewarning of humanity's overconfidence in technology? Let's keep this thought in mind as we unravel the story of the Titanic.
The Titanic was a marvel of early 20th century engineering. Built in Belfast by Harland and Wolff, it was the largest ship of its time, measuring 882 feet long and weighing over 52,000 tons. Designed to be unsinkable, it boasted 16 watertight compartments and the latest in maritime luxury. Construction began in 1909, and by 1912 the Titanic was ready for her maiden voyage. Thousands of spectators gathered to witness her launch on May 31st, 1911, a moment of pride for the White Star Line and a symbol of human ambition. The Titanic departed from Southampton, England, on April 10, 1912, bound for New York City. On board were over 2,200 passengers and crew, ranging from wealthy elites in first-class cabins to hopeful immigrants in third-class quarters. The ship made brief stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now Cobh, Ireland, before heading across the Atlantic. Passengers marveled at the luxury of the ship, its grand staircase, elegant dining rooms, and cutting-edge amenities. But as Titanic sailed westward, warnings of icebergs began to pour in.
Iceberg! Dead ahead! Iceberg, dead ahead, sir! Hard starboard! Full speed ahead! Hard starboard, sir!
Close watertight doors.
Close watertight doors, sir.
Hard starboard it is, sir.
Helm's hard starboard, sir!
Despite these alerts, the ship continued at near maximum speed, a decision that would soon prove fatal. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912, disaster struck. The Titanic collided with an iceberg, tearing a series of gashes along its starboard side. Initially, the damage didn't seem catastrophic. Passengers in first class continued socializing, and the band played soothing music. But within an hour, water had begun flooding the lower compartments. The crew quickly realized the ship was sinking. As the situation became dire, panic erupted. Lifeboats, already in short supply, were launched half-empty in the early stages of evacuation. The policy of women and children first saw families torn apart. Captain Edward Smith, the seasoned mariner in command, worked tirelessly to organize evacuations. Reports differ on his final moments. Some say he went down with the ship, while others claim he continued aiding passengers until the very end. By 2:20 a.m., just under 3 hours after the collision, the Titanic slipped beneath the icy waters of the Atlantic. Out of over 2,200 people on board, only 706 survived. First-class passengers had the highest survival rates, while many third-class passengers were trapped below decks. Stories of courage emerged amidst the chaos. Molly Brown, famously known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, helped row a lifeboat to safety. Harold Bride, the wireless operator, continued sending distress signals until water flooded his station. Their bravery stands as a testament to the human spirit. In the wake of the tragedy, investigations were held in the United States, and the United Kingdom. The US inquiry, led by Senator William Alden Smith, examined issues like the lack of lifeboats and ignored iceberg warnings. Meanwhile, the British inquiry largely absolved the White Star Line of blame. Critics argue that both investigations fell short of holding those responsible accountable. The Titanic's sinking exposed flaws in maritime safety protocols, leading to significant changes in the years that followed. So, why did the Titanic sink? A combination of human error and design flaws sealed its fate. The ship's steel hull and rivets, weakened by freezing temperatures, failed upon impact with the iceberg. The watertight compartments, though innovative, weren't sealed at the top, allowing water to spill over. Add to this the decision to maintain high speed despite ice warnings and the inadequate lifeboat capacity, and the disaster becomes a tragic inevitability. Many experts believe the disaster could have been prevented. Slowing down after multiple iceberg warnings might have averted the collision. Providing lookouts with binoculars and improving evacuation protocols could have saved more lives. Even the nearby SS Californian's faster response to distress signals could have reduced the death toll. While hindsight offers clarity, the lessons from Titanic continue to shape maritime safety today. The Titanic's story didn't end with its sinking. In 1985, Robert Ballard's team discovered the wreckage nearly 13,000 feet below the Atlantic, reigniting public fascination. The disaster inspired new safety measures like the International Ice Patrol and mandatory lifeboat regulations. Over a century later, the Titanic remains a powerful symbol of human ambition, vulnerability, and resilience. It has inspired countless books, films, and documentaries, ensuring its lessons endure for generations to come. Thank you for joining me, Nashon Adhacho, on this episode of In-Depth Analysis. Let us know your thoughts about the Titanic in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.